What's going on, guys? Play by Play Game here, back with another Epic 7 video, and today we're going over the patch update for 11.5 for this coming Thursday, and we're getting the second week of the new side story, which is going to be pretty good. I think that the first week was pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting much, but turned out pretty good. So we'll have the enhanced artifacts, just like we did on the first one. I think it's this one, right? The doll one. Yeah. So it's the haste artifact here. We'll be able to kind of farm through there, review some more of the story. There's those lock stages where you'll pay some of the currency to get in. There is one that I didn't want to mention, which is the Goblin Challenge, which I would highly recommend that you don't do until this weekend, and we'll take a look at why. So we'll be able to pick up that haste artifact in the shop. Along with that, we're going to have Melissa and Tamarin raid up banners, which are going to be, I mean, if you are a new player, Tamarin, she's a must. Okay, as a free-to-play player, I haven't spent any money in this game since day one. As soon as I got Tamarin, she made PvE, just the game, progressing through the game itself, a lot easier. So if you don't have her, I 100% recommend that you go for her and you pick up yourself a copy. If you already have her, congrats. You can probably skip on both of these banners. Melissa, though, has been shown to be a really good Rylet counter, sort of, but she does need really high quality gear, so there's that. Moving on, we have the Days of Destiny check-in event. So when you log in for 7 days, starting on Thursday, you're going to be able to start the check-in event. We'll get an artifact. Not sure what this artifact is. It looks like it's probably, well, you know what? I think we kind of saw the image. I'm not sure. We'll see, right? We'll see. We're getting some immunity gear. We're getting 2 molas, and then on the 7th day, we're getting a 5-star ticket, which is really, really good. So here are the weapons. Just by looking at these, standouts right away are the chest, because it's HP, defense, effectiveness, speed. So all of this can go on a bruiser, depending on how it rolls. More than likely, still going to go on a bruiser. Unless you roll all speed and maybe effectiveness, this could probably go on a speed DPS, some kind of speed support, something like that, right? The boots, I don't know about the boots. They're attack boots, but they do have crit chance, crit damage, and then they have HP and defense. I'm not sure about these. The helm also looks really good because it has almost the exact same stats as the chest, except instead of defense, you have attack, right? And then you have force, speed, and effectiveness. Depending on how this rolls as well, if you can dodge attack here and hit nothing but health, speed, and effectiveness, bruiser gear, right? Bruiser gear. The sword here, you want attack, crit chance, crit damage, but all of these free equipments for me always roll health. So in here, I'm sure I'm just gonna get nothing but health rolls and then min roll crit chance. Some weird like that, but we'll see. Hopefully they roll well for you guys. So the Days of Destiny here, it says this starts on 11/4, but up here it says 11/5. So, I mean, you'll see when you log in, right? It's either starting on Wednesday or Thursday. You'll see the Covenant summon, that event little thingy there, and you'll be able to do 10 free summons every single day for 7 days. So just note that if you do log in, let's say on Wednesday, you do your 10 free summons, and then you don't log in on Thursday, you skip that one, and then you log in on Friday, you lose those 10 free summons. So just kind of keep that in mind. Make sure you just log in every day, do your 10 free summons, and then log out if you're not doing anything else in the game. But along with that, we're having a weekend buff event. Yes, another weekend buff event, which is pretty awesome, especially since we're having that Goblin event. So make sure you wait until the weekend to do your Goblin in the story. That way you get a bonus of gold, because we all need gold, right? So here's the schedule for our global people here. It starts on Thursday all the way to Monday, and they're starting off first with Spirit Altars Then they're moving on to AP and EXP increase. And Friday, well, for us it's Global Saturday. They're doing gold increase and hunt equipment crafting materials increase. So mats, all buffs will be active during this period. So they're doing Sunday, everything is open. Saturday, most people are going to be farming. I know a lot of people are going to be doing Doris skill change farming for that. So that's pretty good. I think they're also doing something with the leaf packs. Moving on here, we do have a new balance adjustment preview, which is pretty crazy. They're going to implement changes to 7 heroes and 5 artifacts after 11/26. So after the end of the month here, in about 3 weeks, they're going to be implementing these. So let's take a look and see what they do. All right, so starting off, they got Sage, Baal, and Sezan. Yes, everybody's been calling for a buff for him. He's getting a buff. Okay, he's getting a buff. We'll see how crazy it is. LQC, my favorite here, is also getting a buff, which is nice. We'll see what that happens here. Cerise, Landy. So 2 limited heroes are getting buffs. That's gonna set a new precedent depending on what kind of buffs they get. Pearl Horizon is also getting a buff, 3-star hero, and Doll Maker Pearl Horizon. So I think this has to do with the specialty change, probably, right? Let's see, artifacts, Guiding Light. So that's the stealth one. That's Cerise's artifact. Bastion of Perlucia, does Noctis, Andrew's Crossbow, and Silver Rain. So these, I don't think anyone really uses these. This one is the souls one, where you steal souls, I think. And this one is where you get a chance at giving any character on your team attack up, something like that, right? And let's see, what does it say here? The probability and number of turns are based on fully, oh, okay, so it's just key, right? Skill cooldowns will not be changed unless stated. Oh, okay. So the probability and number of turns are based on fully enhanced characters. The skill cooldowns will not be changed. The skill descriptions mentioned in this preview may differ. Skill descriptions. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at Baal and Sezan. So before he summons an evil spirit to attack the enemy with a 75% chance to put the enemy to sleep for 1 turn. The skill does not trigger a dual attack now. When the target is asleep after the attack, increases the caster's combat readiness by 20%. So he's getting a CR push after he sleeps. So that's going to be pretty insane. Cloud of Ruin before, so it's the exact same, except now attacks all enemies by summoning storm clouds with a 100% chance to dispel 1 buff and an 80% chance to put them to sleep. So now it's an 85% chance. So small little increase there, but 5% I think could be significant difference depending, right? I don't know that many people will still use him, but let's take a look at Eye of Death. Attacks with an evil eye, which is, this is S3, right? Which like nobody uses really. Damage dealt increase proportion of the caster's lost health. So this is kind of weird because this would require him to have like a high HP pool and then also be low HP at the same time. I don't know. So now when the enemy is defeated, silences all remaining enemies for 1 turn, penetrates defense, broken. Sage Baal is broken now. He penetrates defense, but cannot trigger a critical hit. Damage dealt increases portion of the caster. Bruiser, right? Bruiser build down. Like, so that's, they removed the damage dealt increases to his lost health. No, it's still here. It's still here. So, man, penetrates defense and silences all enemies when he gets a kill. Now, I don't know what his multipliers are. I haven't really checked on his kit in a long time. So if he can get a kill, it's going to be pretty OP. We'll see. All skill cooldowns decrease by 2 turns, so that stays the same. Yeah, this is just the awakened version. So with the balance of Sage Baal, it will be improved to have more influence in battle, even when his skill Cloud of Ruin is in cooldown. With this change, he'll have more utility in battle due to the combat readiness. And additionally, Cloud of Ruin will now have a higher chance to inflict sleep on all enemies, allowing him to be more powerful in battles. Yeah, Eye of Death. will also be improved so that it will now penetrate enemies' defense. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, allowing him to inflict more damage if the enemy has been eliminated with this skill. The caster's health will be recovered to max. Wait, what? Does that say that here? That doesn't say that here. The casters, or maybe that he already does that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments section. He will inflict silence on all remaining enemies when soul burn. All skill cooldown. Okay, so he penetrates defense. He gets a kill. When he gets a kill, he recovers HP to the max. Not like a 50% HP, like full recovery HP. That sounds broken to me. Okay, I don't know. We gotta wait and see if they keep this. All right, so LQC, really excited for this one. Judgment, attacks with Giant Sword before granting the caster immunity for 1 turn. So damage dealt by the skill will be increased. Okay, so they're just baby increase on her damage. We'll see how much that is. The Will of Lamar before smashes the enemy with a sword and attacks, penetrates defense by 50%, deals increased damage against dark elemental enemies, keeping that the same. But I think they're changing this, the dark elemental. When the target is a dark elemental, it increases damage dealt and inflicts additional damage to all enemies except for the target, proportional to the caster's attack. That's weird. Why would you do that? Why would they do proportional to her attack, not proportional to her like HP? Because she's usually built a little bit tankier, right? Not super high attack. So she's got like a built-in rain guards now. Giving everybody rain guard. Okay. So the Will of Lamar awakened. Yeah. So that's kind of weird. With this improvement, LQC will be even more effective against the enemy teams that utilize dark elemental heroes. The amount of damage dealt by her skill Judgment will be increased. Now inflict additional except for the caster when attacking. That's kind of odd. I don't know about this one. I was excited for this, but not anymore. Maybe, I don't know. She's got a built-in drink, so now she has to be built with high attack. That's another possible build for her. I don't know. We'll see. Cerise, 5-star limited hero. Let's take a look. So summons a mystical bow to attack the enemy before increasing the caster's combat readiness by 15%. So now triggers a dual attack from a random ally when Froststorm is on it. Oh, that's broken. That is broken. Can you 300 speed Cerise doing dual attacks? That's okay. Luminous Explosion, explosive magical sphere, stunning for 1 turn before increasing the caster's combat readiness by 50%. So this is her S2 where she stuns a unit. Now she's going to stun and make them unable to be buffed for 2 turns. Yo, what are they doing, man? Froststorm before, let's see, this is her S3, attacks all enemies with a Raging Froststorm, decreasing buff durations by 1 turn before 100% chance to decrease speed. So this is her S3, where she inflicts restrict and decrease speed. Now attacks using an advantageous element, so now she's going to deal damage. And they're increasing the damage dealt by the skill. What? That's crazy. Following this balance adjustment, Cerise skill 3. Hold on. In this balance, we focus on improving Cerise's ability to continuously contain the enemy due to her high speed. Yes, she already contains due to her high speed. I don't think she needed a buff. She's gonna deal more damage. She gets advantageous element against everyone with her S3. She will be able to deploy more powerful attacks and more effectively inflict effects on enemies without missing. Yeah, so she's not gonna miss with her S3 pretty much ever, unless you're going up against like evasion, right? Furthermore, Luminous Explosion grants an additional debuff, unable to be buffed. I know that's, and then the dual attack, man. Okay, let's take a look at Landy. This one, I know a lot of people wanted buffs for Landy. Let's take a look, see what happens. S1 fire stays the same. Effect is doubled when the enemy is buffed, so they took that off. Combat readiness increases and amount of fighting spirit gain are doubled when the enemy is buffed. So that's gonna give her, and then they're increasing the damage by her S1. So that means that she's gonna be cycling a lot faster with her S3. I don't know. Combat readiness increases and amount of fighting spirit gain are doubled. So this will go to 30%, and her, yeah, she's gonna be pretty crazy. Okay, well, just with her S1, right? Doing her S1, she's gonna cycle super fast. So now, her chief on the scene, this is her passive, right? Increases the caster's attack by 10% before, now it's 20% after attacking. This effect can only stack up to 3 times. So it's instead of a 50% attack, it's now a 60% attack, and it's ramping up a lot faster. So in 3 turns, you'll have her attack up by 60%. So that's pretty cool. Not sure if that really is gonna do more. So we got a little buff there and faster cycling here for this. Her S3 fires at all enemies and grants the caster increased speed for 2 turns. Now it fires and it grants all allies increased speed for 2 turns before increasing their combat readiness by 15%. So before she was just speeding herself up, now she's going to speed up the whole team, and they gave her penetrates defense by 50%. So there you go. She got it, I think, with this penetrating defense and getting an extra 10% here will do a little bit more damage. We know penetrate defense is pretty OP, and there was a lot of Landys out there that were already pretty broken. So I think that this is a pretty good buff for her. Penetrate defense, a lot of people were calling for it. We got to test her out. Let's see how people build her and see how she does. But I think in this meta right now, they're trying to push out bruisers, and yeah, they're doing a good job here. Penetrating defense, and Cerise just triggering dual attacks, going crazy. It's pretty insane. So Landy will be improved in 2 ways. She will reinforce herself at a faster pace. Yeah, and then she's going to support her allies, yes, with increased speed. Her S1 will be improved in regards to having a higher damage output, and then she's going to get a greater CR push. Her passive is going to be improved so that she stacks attack at a faster pace. Yeah, and then she gets a 50% defense penetration on her S3. Okay, so she has to be at maximum level, but if she's going to be cycling with her S1 a lot faster, I think this is going to be no problem. The Soulburn effect will be changed so that it grants an additional turn. Oh, I didn't see that here. So now her Soulburn before was just increasing damage, and now it's a 20 Soulburn, and she'll get another turn. So she could potentially go with her S3 and then S1, gain that fighting spirit 1 more time. And yeah, I think she's gonna be pretty OP now. But we gotta see if she can break through all that defense and stuff, all those buffs. All right, Maya is getting a buff. That's kind of odd. I don't really play with Maya, so I'm not really too sure here. Attacks with a shield, 100% chance to stun for 1 turn. So she stuns. Damage dealt increases proportion of the caster's defense, so 100% stun. Now she's gonna decrease combat readiness by 30%. Morale boost has a 50% chance to provoke. I think this is her S2 or her S3. Not really sure. To provoke decreased attack while enemies for 1 turn. Morale boost, now she has a 75% chance to provoke, and she has a 100% chance to decrease attack for 2 turns. So before it was only a 50% chance, and now it's a 100% chance to decrease attack and a 75% chance to provoke. So that kind of makes it interesting. Now it's a 4-turn cooldown. Huh. So if you can make her a bit faster, she'll be able to cycle and just kind of like support with the attack down and the provoke, kind of like FCC sort of, in a way. Let's take a look at Pearl Horizon here. Let's see. Attacks all enemies with a 50% chance to put them to sleep for 1 turn, but now increases her combat readiness by 10% per sleep debuff inflicted. So if she has, let's say, a sleep on all enemies, she'll get a 40% increase, combat readiness increase. That's pretty broken. So it makes her a bit faster, so okay. Now, instead of dealing additional damage equivalent to 10% of max health, it deals 10% damage equivalent to the target's max health. So again, bruisers are trying to get rid of bruisers. So the more HP they have, the more damage you're gonna deal. That's pretty cool. Soul Burn ignores effect resistance, and Dollmaker, no. So Pearl Horizon, okay, so Dollmaker, Pearl Horizon. Okay, so these are just buffs to her regular form. Okay, let's take a look at what Dollmaker Pearl Horizon does. I think it's probably the same, right? So increase combat readiness by 10%. So now it's 15% of the target's max health. Ignores effect resistance, and then equivalent 30% of the target's max health. That's pretty intense. Okay, and her speed rune has a 50% chance to decrease speed, now has an 80% chance to decrease speed for 2 turns. So her combat readiness is going to be increased depending on the number of sleep debuffs. That's going to be pretty cool. I think a lot of people really wanted to use Pearl Horizon, but she wasn't really viable, but now I can definitely see her as some type of support control type of bruiser damage dealer. I don't know how people are going to build her, but now she scales off of, she deals damage based on the enemy team. That's going to be pretty broken. Let's see, Guiding Light. So this is the one that gives you stealth. At the start of the battle, grant stealth for 1 turn, so now it's 100%. So you get stealth starting on. At the end of the caster's turn, has a 70% chance to grant stealth for 2 turns. Stealth granted at the end of the caster's turn can be activated once every 2 turns. Okay, so now it's not a base chance, like you're gonna get stealth no matter what. So that's pretty cool. It's a good way to add some survivability. Let's see, survival ranger class heroes. Yeah, so I mean, I think that'll be pretty cool. Definitely make it usable, right? Instead of nobody using this because you needed that fully maxed limit broken. And yeah, okay. So Bastion of Pelucia now gives immunity for 1 turn. Let's see. At the start of the battle, grants the ally with the highest attack immunity for 1 turn and a barrier equivalent to 30%. So this is, that's pretty cool. Now you bring in super squishy DPS with a knight, and you throw Bastion of Pelucia on them, and then now your 1 turn, you don't get CC'd unless you get stripped, right? But that means that they gotta go first. They gotta go before your DPS, so that's kind of weird. Does Noctis increases attack of the caster by 2% when an ally makes a critical hit. Now can only stack up to 12 times. Now it increases attack of the caster by 4%, and it can stack up to 8 times. So faster ramp up, and I think it'll definitely make it usable because before, well, I mean, I'm not sure how many people really use it, right? But like now it's a 32% attack increase. Before it was what, 24? So they did increase it by what, 8? 8%, something like that. So it's gonna make it faster cycling. So Andre's crossbow, 100% chance to remove 3 souls from the enemy. So now it's not 2, it's 3. Okay, that's gonna make, okay, so I don't know if that's gonna make a big difference, but 3 souls, I think, in a long fight, yeah, it's gonna have an effect, right? Okay, Silver Rain, 100% chance to increase attack of a random ally for the caster for 2 turns when the caster uses a non-attack skill. Now it's 100% chance to increase attack of the ally except for the caster with the highest attack for 2 turns. Okay, you see, that makes more sense because what if I bring a thief and they give the attack up to like my Ruel, right? That doesn't make sense. So now they're placing the attack on the highest attack. So the unit with the highest attack. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. I think this is a good change. Out of all of them, I mean, those buffs are pretty intense. I know a lot of people are going to be testing out the new defense penetration Landy and Cerise. If you already have Cerise built, man, she's going to be even crazier. All right, So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're looking forward to all of these buffs, changes, weekend buff event, 70 free Covenant summons. Hopefully you guys pull some really good stuff. I know last time I didn't pull anything except a 1, and I pulled SB Araminta, so it actually went pretty good. But there's been plenty of times where I pull nothing. So hopefully you guys get some amazing luck in your pulls. Like always, if you happen to enjoy the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hey, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.